Thank you, Director Bhaskar Ramurthy ji, for hosting us. And thank you all the students for inviting me to be a part of this prestigious, very, very prestigious and reputed institution. And I'm really delighted to be here. I know your mess closes by 9:15, so we'll try and keep it as simple as we can. So good evening. My name is Ram. I'm the Minister for Information Technology and Industry and Commerce from the youngest state in India today, the state of Telangana. And I keep calling it the startup state. I'm guessing many of you are from Hyderabad. How many? Okay, pretty much all of you. Anybody who's not from Hyderabad? Okay, there are a few. Oh wow, there are a lot of them. All right, good seeing you all. So I call my state a startup state. There is a reason why I call it a startup state. See, when you get an opportunity to make a clean slate beginning, when you get an opportunity to start off without the burden of legacy, without the burden of somebody weighing heavily on your shoulders, on your head, I think you can make a lot of innovative beginnings. And that's exactly what we've tried to do in the state of Telangana. When we started off about 2.5 years ago, on the 2nd of June 2014, our Honorable Chief Minister Shri K. Chandrasekhar Rao Garu, who's led the Telangana agitation from the front, he's a firm believer in one theory. He believes that no individual or no institution is a repository of wisdom. He believes very firmly that nobody knows everything. For a leader, for a minister, for a chief minister, or for any individual to think that I know everything, I'm an expert at everything, would be a fallacy. So therefore, when he started off with his young state of Telangana, and especially with respect to technology, especially with respect to innovative policy making, he has given us a clear mandate. He said, do not reinvent the wheel. He said, learn from the best. Imbibe the best practices from across the world. You don't have to start from the scratch on everything. You don't have to worry about being, very, very innovative in terms of being novel and path-breaking. He said, if there are good policies out there, if there are good ideas out there, pick them up, make them your own, and make sure you actually follow through and do a good job of it. So that's how when we started thinking about coming out with our IT policy, coming out with our industrial policy, we started on the right earnest. We started visiting places. We started talking to thought leaders. We started talking to different political leaders who were very experienced. We started talking to industry leaders. And then that's how we started formulating our policies. But even before I come to that, I'd like to share with you one thing. In fact, as was mentioned earlier, we've come out with India's largest technology incubator today in Hyderabad. It's called the T-Hub. Before I go any further, I'd like to play a very small video for you, which kind of sets the tone as to what we are talking about with respect to innovation and technology ecosystem. Somebody can get the lights here. Yeah.
So the dream was always to make Hyderabad one of the top 10 startup destinations in the world.
So we started off with Catalyst, which is our incubator, but we've gone further than that, and now we are calling ourselves the fastest growing startup engine.
This is, in fact, the first look at the new India of tomorrow. And this can be the starting point of that new wave. So it's a great privilege to be here today.
I am here to be most inspired by your dreams, your ambitions, and what I think you're going to do going forward in terms of changing the world because of what you do here at T-Hub and beyond. Thank you so very, very much.
The next journey for us is to enable startups to significantly scale up and go to market. Whatever it takes for us to foster that is what we're going to focus on.
The last 1 year at T-Hub has been incredible. We have startups being born every day. We have corporates moving in and wanting to solve innovation challenges. We've got events happening all over the place in various fields. And we've got funding happening also. So it's been incredible.
Basically provides you a platform to dabble, to cherish in innovation, to provides you a platform to walk in with an idea and walk out with a product. Intent is very, very straightforward, to make Hyderabad the startup capital of the country.
We have formed a program called T-Bridge that acts as a tunnel both in and out of India. The idea is that Indian startups from anywhere across the country that want to access global markets can come through different T-Hub programs through T-Bridge and get access to the US, the UK and multiple other countries.
We want to be very thankful to the benevolent board of directors and advisory committee members who made this dream possible. And these are visionaries from the venture capital space, from the government and from the corporate space. And without them, this journey wouldn't have even started, let alone take off. The corporate partners who come to us to scout out innovation and to scout out deal flow and to help us create this amazing scale is a unique set of stakeholders that we want to profusely thank from the bottom of our heart.
So we're really excited that we're about to launch a new building in Hyderabad, the Reactor Building. It's a 350,000 square foot iconic building that will not only house startups, but incubators, accelerators, service providers, corporate innovation divisions, everything that it takes to build a startup ecosystem.
T-Hub is the fastest growing startup engine that's catalyzing scale, innovation and deal flow.
We're well on our way to becoming one of the top startup destinations in the world.
From mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, are you there? Nobody? Okay. The 3D mantra, as they call it, which applies to you guys. Define, design, deliver. It holds true even today. I think it works even today in your world. But in the shifting, in the fast changing economic landscape that the world has become today, the digitally connected space it has become today, I think it's important that you actually innovate very, very quick. Also incubate even more quickly, and incorporate at the same pace. Because if you think about it for a second, today, the next big idea can come from anywhere in the world. Your physical location, the physicality of your location does not matter. Because you could be in Siberia, you could be in Chennai, you could be in Hyderabad, you could be in Timbuktu, you could be anywhere in the world. As long as you have an idea that works, as long as you have an idea that has merit in it, I think you can have the world at your feet. Now, having said that, it's easier said than done, I know. So therefore, we wanted to give this a bit of a thought. So when we started thinking about what to do, in fact, when I assumed office as a minister on the 2nd of June 2014, I asked my IT secretary, Jayesh Ranjan, who's somewhere here, I questioned. I said, Hyderabad has done reasonably well after Y2K, in 1998, the late 90s, and then eventually when India started getting some business in the IT space, more so mostly the back office, support kind of space, the support kind of work. We said we've done okay, we've created some jobs, we've done reasonably well, but what is the next big opportunity? And we started then talking to a lot of students, a lot of youngsters. And then what I've realized is, today's youngsters of India, like you guys, are not content. You guys are not happy in just being the back office of the world. You guys don't want India to be the tech support center, or if I have to put it bluntly, a BPO for the world. You want more. You aspire for more. In fact, you feel that if a Zuckerberg can do it, if a Larry or a Sergey can do it, why can't I do it? In the technology space, where technology is the greatest leveler, where technology is the greatest enabler, where technology enables anybody who has an idea to actually ride a wave of growth, ride a wave of an opportunity and deliver the goods and deliver solutions for the world, you guys believe that Indians have it in them. And I actually absolutely confidently can say that Indians possibly today have the best shot at solving the world problems than ever before. And the reason why I say this is because as a country today, if you look at India, the world is getting older, but India is getting younger. Today, India, more than 50% of the population is at a median age of 29, unlike ever in the history of this world. More than 65% of the population today in India is less than the age of 35. That makes us the country with the largest workforce on the planet. America is aging. China is aging. Most of our competition across the world, most of our competition which we compete with for investments, for ideas, etc., is aging fast. Now that is where India's great opportunity lies. So therefore, when we started thinking, I'll just give you an example. How many of you use WhatsApp here? I think everybody. How many of you don't use WhatsApp here? What is wrong with you? Okay. So we all use WhatsApp, right? Now when WhatsApp was being evaluated, when Facebook decided to purchase or buy out WhatsApp, they evaluated it at $19 billion. $19 billion. I almost fell off my chair. I think most guys my age fell off their chairs also. It confused a whole lot of us, it just didn't make any sense to us. But I think it enthused a whole bunch of youngsters across the world. Now they feel, they believe that ideas as simple as WhatsApp, I mean, if you think about it, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, none of these are rocket sciences. None of these are things that we could not have discovered ourselves. None of these are extremely complicated protocols or products. They're extremely simple products, simple, ingenious ideas, which have today transformed the way we communicate with each other. Now, therein lies the beauty. $19 billion, yes, it confused me, but enthused a whole generation of youngsters. Now, the bigger question I ask myself is, would an Indian youngster, would he have thought of this? Maybe, potentially, yes. But maybe he just didn't know what to do with such an idea. That's when we said, now let's give them a chance, let's give them a platform. And that's how what you just saw, T-Hub, came about. T-Hub today is India's largest incubator. And like I said, the theme of T-Hub is innovate, incubate, and incorporate, all in the same facility. You guys, if you have an idea, you don't have to worry about how to set up a company, how to incorporate a company, how to actually ensure, you write a business plan to the banks, to the VCs, to the private equity players, to the financial institutions. You don't have to worry about anything. As long as you have an idea which has merit in it, which can be transformed into a service or a product, you can walk into T-Hub confidently, work with us. You have Indian School of Business doing the business mentorship. You have IIT Hyderabad and IIT Hyderabad doing the technology mentorship. And you have Nalsar, because IP is very important when you have an idea, intellectual property. So therefore you have Nalsar, which is one of the best law schools in the country, doing IP mentorship. We took care of all that. Now all you have to do is walk in, start working on your idea, build a team around it, start looking for resources, start making pitches, and ensure that your idea grows from what it is into just an idea, from the ideation stage into a product stage. Now, this raises a very important question. Once you have a product, say for example, you come out with the next WhatsApp. You come out with the next WhatsApp from Hyderabad, from T-Hub. Now, would it get the same kind of valuation? Would it get the same kind of attention, say if you were located in Santa Clara, or if you were located somewhere in Silicon Valley in California? Would you get the same valuation? Would you get the same attention? I seriously think no. Because I think it matters. Even though we say it's a connected world, it's an interconnected world, it's a very, very flat world technology-wise, I think the fact of the matter is, it also matters as to where you're located. So therefore, we've created an extension of T-Hub, what is called as the T-Bridge, which also we talked about just now. T-Bridge essentially is a two-way conduit. For any Indian youngster who's created a startup, who has an idea, if he wants to take his idea to the US or to the world, we can, through T-Bridge, take you right there and expose you to the best venture capitalists in the world so that you get the biggest bang for your idea. Likewise, if an American startup wants to actually tap into the 1.3 billion Indian market, a huge Indian retail market, they also have an opportunity to use this two-way conduit and enter India as well. So that's the idea of T-Bridge. Now, having said this, T-Hub, it's all good. What are we doing there? We already have more than 200 startups working out of T-Hub. We already have had more than $15 million of deal flow in the last 1 year alone. We are already building on some of these success stories, and some of the startups which started off in T-Hub are now in a scale-up mode. They've already started scaling up. They're looking to expand more. What does this do for us? How does this help the country? Simple. The idea of a government entering this space, which typically is considered taboo for a government to enter, because startups is something governments have typically never encouraged in the past. The idea of a government doing this essentially was to create large-scale employment. Say, for example, if we know the success rate in startups is not very high, we decided once we start augmenting on this success story, say, for example, you have 95% of the startups failing, and assume that only 5% succeed. And even if 5% of these, if they succeed, and out of which, again, even if 50% of them out of the successful ones actually go on and incorporate and become large corporations, they would be creating a large-scale employment for our country. Not only that, in fact, as Bill Clinton said when he visited, President Clinton when he visited India, I think in the early 2000s, he had said, India today has all the problems in the world, but India today also has all the solutions for the world as well. So that is what India today is. India is a fantastic, huge business opportunity for those of you who are looking at India with a lens of a business possibility. But India, at the same time, again, like I said, offers today the bubbling enthusiasm of youngsters, unlike ever before in the history. And therefore, this is a story which I believe is only just begun. Now, in the startup space, there are several challenges. Most importantly, it's the deal flow, the financial support. How do you build on the ecosystem? How do you ensure venture capital flows in? How do you ensure you provide them access to these guys who actually have to open up their pockets and purse strings and write checks to ensure that these wonderful ideas actually come to fruition? What we've done there also is, in fact, we've created what is called as a T fund. A T, again, for those of you who are confusing T with Telangana, I call it T for technology and T for Telangana. In fact, T-Hub is not just for people in Hyderabad. T-Hub is not just for youngsters in Hyderabad. T-Hub is for anybody who has an idea. T-Hub is for any youngster in Chennai who has an idea, who thinks he can take it to the next level. You can walk in and you can work with us. There's also a virtual mentoring opportunity as well, virtual incubating opportunity as well. Now, we created what is called as T-Fund. We're ramping it up. The initial idea was to build it with about 100 crores of Indian rupees. And we as a government also have put in 10%, 10 crores to begin with. We'll slowly start ramping it up. We have private players participating in it. And this is basically to give them seed money, especially in that valley of death that they grow through. Ensure that most of them, who just could have survived and gone on to become fantastic stories, had they received enough support at the right time. That is exactly what we have done. We've factored in that aspect as well and ensured that the financial security, financial availability, not security, but availability is also there as part of this larger plan. Now, T-Hub right now is a 70,000 square foot space in the IIT Hyderabad campus in Gachibowli. We're actually building it up. We're building phase 2, as you may also have noticed, which will be in about 350,000 square feet. And once it is completed by end of 2018, it will be the largest incubator in the world, not just in India. So that's the ambition of Government of Telangana. We are not happy in the fact that India is still known as just a tech support center or a back office for the world. We want more products to come out of India. We want more services to come out of India. We want to ensure that the new wonderful next waves of growth, the new and upcoming waves of growth. A lot of people talk about automation in IT. A lot of people say, with automation coming in, we'd lose our jobs. India would lose its sheen. Unfortunately, they also keep forgetting with complexities in this space, more opportunities are also created. With the demonetization, now India is going towards digitization. With digitization, there are plenty of issues, plenty of avenues, plenty of opportunities. You have security, data security, cyber security, which is a huge challenge. You need more cyber warriors. Data analytics, with huge amounts of data, flowing around, with huge amounts of data flying around. You need analytics to make better business decisions. Data analytics is a huge opportunity. Design engineering, huge opportunity. Data warehousing, huge opportunity. If you are able to ride these next waves of growth, if you're able to ensure that your governments, your institutions, your organizations are aware of all the changes that are sweeping the world and are aware of the next waves of growth, which can create not only employment, but also can create solutions and products for the world, I think we'll be doing a great job as a country. So now, as a new state, the state of Telangana has embarked on a very, very ambitious journey. We have not only unveiled our innovation policy and also have created T-Hub, we have also unveiled several sectoral policies. We have an Internet of Things policy. We have an e-waste policy. We have a data center policy. We have a rural technology policy. We have an electronics manufacturing policy in line with Government of India's Make in India campaign. So not only have we unveiled an innovation policy and support startups in the technology space, we also have started thinking about startups in the hardware space. We started thinking of creating, I'm sure most of you like you, I'm sure IIT Madras has a lot of beautiful labs here. A lot of prototypes are being created by young geniuses. Now we also want to create something in the hardware space, something very similar to what T-Hub is. We are currently in the process of creating what is called as T-Works, which will be an incubator, which will be essentially creating a lot of prototype labs, which will be an incubator for the hardware technology sector. Likewise, in fact, we started focusing on several verticals. Information technology, as you know, has several different avenues. In fact, when T-Hub was opened on 5th of November 2015, we ran out of space in 1 week. Then we started thinking, how do we ensure that these youngsters who come to us are not disillusioned, are not dissuaded, are not discouraged? So we said, let's start building on sector-wise incubators. That's how we came out with what is called as IMAGE, Innovation in Animation, Gaming, Multimedia, and Entertainment. We already have another IMAGE center in Hyderabad, which is again about 30,000 square feet, which is doing well again, which is also full. Now, we started working on several other vectors. Today, I'm happy to share with you, not me, but Department of Science and Technology and the member secretary of DST has come to Hyderabad and has announced that we are the city today with the maximum number of incubators. We have more than 15 incubators in various individual institutions across the city in Hyderabad. Our policy of innovation, our innovation policy, supports private incubators as well. We know for a fact that government cannot do it all. We know for a fact one T-Hub will not solve the problems of the world, or one T-Hub alone cannot make Hyderabad the innovation capital of India. Now, therefore, we've started encouraging private incubators. We've started encouraging more incubation with, especially in the academic institutions. Today, IIT Hyderabad has an incubator which is focused exclusively on healthcare opportunities. Likewise, there are several academic institutions in Hyderabad which have their own incubators, but again, come under the hub and spoke model. They also work closely with T-Hub in terms of mentoring, in terms of support, in terms of scaling up, etc., etc. So the fact of the matter is, I am a firm believer, our Chief Minister is a firm believer, that government should not poke its nose where it does not belong. So therefore, what we've done is, while we have created T-Hub, we have given it utmost independence. We don't indulge in the day-to-day affairs of T-Hub. We stay away. Except for our IT secretary, who is a director as a part of the board of directors, none of us ever go and disturb what T-Hub does. Because a creative field, a creative vent which has been created should not be disturbed by something as inane as government, if you ask me. So therefore, what we've done is we've stayed away. Because our Chief Minister keeps reminding us, governance is something that should be felt, should not be seen or heard. Our job is to create infrastructure. Our job is to create a platform. Our job is to create an avenue for youngsters to dabble, to innovate, to work. Because I am a firm believer that today's Indian youngsters are not happy, are not content in their country being known as the back office of the world. We want more. We surely are there, I think, all of us together at this point of time, unlike ever in the history, like I said, are at the cusp of an opportunity to break into the big league, to leapfrog, digitally speaking, from where we are into the first world, as they call it. And I'm very, very confident that this generation is the generation that will define India in days to come. Once again, thank you very much for this opportunity. And once again, I apologize for being late. Thank you very much.